Hello, I am Brujo underscore Anthony 87. Woo woo. Coming to you live from my living room instead of East Los Angeles in Southern California. I am a Brujo, a Santísima Muerte devotee, tarot card reader, intuitive empath, glamour witch, and healer. And you could find me on Facebook and Instagram all under the same name. And I thought I had some time to do a little another book review for you. I have a lot of books. For me at least. I know, I'm not like a whole fucking library building, excuse my language. But I thought this would be good to fit in. It's one of the books that I'm sure gets talked about a lot. I've seen a few book reviews, and then I thought it would be very appropriate for my channel. And without further ado, it's called Besom, Stang, and Sword, A Guide to Traditional Witchcraft, The Sixfold Path, and the Hidden Landscape by Christopher Oropello and Tara Love Aguirre. Right here, I love this artwork right here. It's so fucking badass. I believe there are East Coast based. This is, let's see. It's reviewed by, there's some good reviews on it in the intro by Devin Hunter, author of The Witch's Book of Power and The Witch's Book of Spirits. Ivo Dominguez Jr., author of Keys to Perception, Practical Astrology for Pagans and Witches and Other Books of Magic. And another one. There's just a bunch. I won't go through all of it, all the names, because there's a lot of names here. So they're pretty well known in the pagan community. And it goes into traditional witchcraft. Now, the word today, traditional witchcraft, gets thrown around as, well, I shouldn't say thrown around, excuse me. Traditional witchcraft is has a connotation of meaning historical witchcraft, almost like Reconstructionism in a way, depending on what branch of traditional witchcraft you're doing. So, if most of these are based on the accounts of the witch trials that were based in Salem, and some of the folklore, what you call folk magic, that's kind of plugged into there, that people commonly did. Taking into note that we are living in modern time era, so they explain it to that. They have their own a personal coven. I believe it's called the Black Tree Coven, if I'm not mistaken. It talks about the devil. Now, the devil is a part of witchcraft. It would be wrong, and it would be pretty hypocritical not to acknowledge the devil as a big role in the history of witchcraft. And the devil is not seen as the Christian Abrahamic Satan that is often mistaken. They are two separate entities, and I strongly believe that. The devil is definitely not Satan. Satan is his own thing. But the devil is seen as someone who is, if you would kind of think of like Papa Legba or Legua, he's like, it's a very unique, interesting entity within witchcraft. More like of a folklore trickster, very mercurial, very someone who intervenes between heavens and the earth. The king, the witch father, as he continues on, and there's also the witch mother, which kind of looks like Santísima Muerte, Lilith, Kali Ma, all into one thing. He brings into light and enlightens and educates what that is and what their role is in describes them in history. What animism is, becoming a witch. You don't have to go through some kind of initiation. Um, you can if you want to. It's kind of seemed like it's like a lodge of some kind. You go through initiation. You're part of this house, and there's nothing wrong to being, belonging to a place. But it's not required to become a witch. Like, I personally believe, like, if you are taking the steps into um, learning about witchcraft is, I think that's the first initiation, is educating yourself. So you're already kind of initiating, going through education and things like that. But he does have like a little right in becoming a witch. And what I like about this book is that it's very practical, and it expands your mind and options to look on what's around you and to plug it into in an urban setting. So I live in East Los Angeles. Most of the books that I've been out there, Wicca, other books of witchcraft, I think you have access to, a big clearing of a forest and a river and a lake and, whatnot. And in the case for city folk like us, we don't have access to that. The beach and the forest, we had to drive out there. So this book helps to adapt to, even if you're living in a city, which I very like. Walk around your neighborhood, try to, and gather some of your plants and herbs, whatever's around you, paying some offerings of some coins or candy or rum. They make a unique offering of glass little marbles, which I thought was really cute. I'm gonna have to try that out sometime. They have their own rites called the crossroad rites, making sacred space, calling in the directions, the tools, how to make your own broom or besom, making your own stang, ancestor veneration, witch's compass. And now that's a term that is very commonly recognized within traditional witchcraft. You don't see circle casting as much in the sense of the term. Circle casting I associate with Wicca and paganism in general. I shouldn't say paganism, because paganism is a big, broad umbrella term, but in Wicca, I see that term a lot, and I'm no stranger to that term. In traditional Wicca, they call what's laying a compass. You're laying the directions, a compass. Rather, as circle casting is seen as a spirit of protection and for deity and spirit to come to us. Also supposed to raise energy and whatnot. Within compass, we are going to the source. We don't have to wait for them. We don't have to put so much effort into having them to come to us. Why can't we go to them? Go to the source. So that's pretty much the difference in terms of invocation and the wording, things like that. So, and then it talks about spells. It describes high and low magic, black and white, magical theory, mechanics of magic. It talks about how to go into trance, which I like a lot too. And most of the spells that they have are hoodoo based. Crossing right, laying out wards. That's pretty much protecting the home and cleansing the home. Divination. You go into reading the eggs a little bit. Reading tarot. And it talks about herbalism. How that's a big part of witchcraft. Brujeria. The black tree that goes into what they call the witch's hexagram: to know, to will, to grow, to be silent, to dare, and to know. Or I don't know if it's supposed to go in some kind of order. Well, yeah, it is actually. So, but whatever, you get the idea. Hex signs. In their practice, they see the world, the tree is the black tree specifically is a big part of representing the worlds. We have different worlds. It's, you could see it in Kabbalah. You could see it in Norse magic. You could see it in even Latin and Mexica, ancient religions before the Spaniards came. We have the world tree, which would be the ceiba or some other tree. And we have different worlds. The tree is has been used as altars, back in the day. The trees and the branches, the flowers and the leaves, they connect up to the heavens. The roots dig down into the underworld where our ancestors are, and the tree and the base is connecting to here. So you have all the three worlds connecting everything, and that's why witches would be doing their magic around trees, because they are seen as places of in between. Then goes into the witch queen. Look at this. This is just a badass image. This is the image I was talking about, the witch queen. I should show you the picture of the witch king, the witch father. I'm sorry. Her name's Witch Mother. His name is the Witch Father. That just looks fucking badass. And then the hidden landscape, tapping into the land, working with spirits, animal spirits, fungi spirits, insect spirits, plant spirits, tree spirits, local lore, necromancy. And necromancy is just basically just working with the dead in general, whether honoring them or invoking their presence to know about the future, some magic, tapping the bone. See another illustration right here. Calling the ancestors, hedge witchery, to give some recipes on some trance-inducing teas. Soul flight. Soul flight is another term that I've seen within witchcraft, traditional witchcraft to be specifically, and that's where soul flight is a big broad term too. That just and the terminology after that are just branches that basically describe the same thing. So astral traveling can be considered soul flight. Dreaming can be considered soul flight. Things like that are considered soul flight. Finding your familiar. No, familiar is not a living pet. Witch's Sabbath, the historical meaning of the Witch's Sabbath, and goes into their own holidays, the moon phases. Another badass drawing right there. I'm a very visual person, so I'm a glamour witch. And that is a pretty good, and this is them in the back right there. How cute. So I definitely recommend this book too for beginners as well. Who are very curious into what witchcraft is. Obviously, I know I mentioned before in my other book review, American Brujeria, that you know, reading through books is a good way. Hearing down the things that have been passed down in your family are a good way to learn some witchcraft, but also connecting with your community. Like, if just go out there, go outside and play outside in nature is a good way to connect with witchcraft. Reading upon, I'm not going to go into reading because I already said that, but connect with like minded people. Maybe they're already established in a tradition, and, just talk to them. Like, go to your local pagan shop, occult shop, botanica, whatnot, and talk to people. And they will give you a lot of vast knowledge. And who knows, maybe you may, make a few friends and whatnot, and you might be invited to join in into some ceremony or ritual. So that's another way to connect and to learn witchcraft too, is talking to others and just really getting your hands dirty, and that's a very great way to learn witchcraft. And that will be my book review. I highly recommend it. And I will leave it as that. So take care, be safe, be kind to yourself, and be kind towards each other. Muchud, muchud, amor. Bye bye.